First of all, I just wanted to say a big thank you to the organizer to just remind us what matters. People in Iran, women in Iran, that often, especially women in Iran, get lost among all the news and everything. And that's the story of women all around the world. What's happening now is quite heartbreaking. And I know that all of you, people in Iran, and also us in diaspora, we carry too many different emotions, fear, anxiety, hope. And we wake up with that and we go to sleep with that. And people often ask what's happening in Iran because of the war. But actually people forget that this attack on Iran happens on the backdrop of the massacre in Iran in January. Because what happened in January, I personally can only describe it as a Holocaust, nothing less than that. And what happened in January, like tens of thousands of people were killed, put in body bag. Parents were called to open the body bags one by one to find their loved one. It's even not, you cannot imagine the trauma of that. And then at the same time, tens of thousands, the estimate we have is something around maybe more than 100,000 were arrested across Iran. Many of these detainees, we don't know even where they are. Families contact us at Campaign to Free Political Prisoners in Iran, and they tell us, like, our son, our daughters went out and they never come back. Could you be their voice? So this is what's happening. So that's why we're coming from one collective trauma and now we're facing something else. And in the summer, I can have hours to talk about it, and you all know that. There are different aspects of it. Detainees being given unknown substances, so they died the day after that. Women being mutilated, even their womb being taken out of their body. And many detainees who were actually, they were injured, they were given finishing shot. Okay. Yeah, good. So they were given finishing shot, meaning that they're wounded, and the IRGC, Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, will give them a shot so they're dead. We have cases that they were strangled while they were on the hospital bed. So the amount of brutality that happened cannot be described. Tens of thousands of detainees were taken to warehouses. This is a new thing apparently they do outside of big cities like Tehran and Isfahan. And they were there, they were raped, they were shot. They would call them and say, you, come here, and they would shot them and execute them. But we don't hear a lot about that. So forgive me if I'm angry when I see these anti-war people on the street, and they're saying, just since the attack starts, saying hands off Iran. It's fine, I know that many of them have good intention to do that, but where were they? Where were they when tens of thousands of people were massacred? Why didn't I see any of them coming on the street and saying hands off Iranian people? Why I didn't see them? Even those women's rights activists coming and saying that hands of women in Iran, where were they? So to me, it's okay for the regime in Iran to wage war against their own people and massacre them. That's okay, they have no problem with it. But they have the problem with that when we're dancing when the Khamenei is killed. They have actually problem with that. And they criticize us. You saw this heartbreaking movie about women life freedom. The world needs to remember that. But trust me, when the regime is gone, you will see what happened to people in January. Compared to that, this is just a fraction of the pain. There are mothers and fathers, they don't even know. They go to morgues, they can't find their kids. They go to detention center, they've been kicked out, and they're saying that, well, your child is not here, give us money, and we tell you if they're alive or not. Right now, at this attack, regime is using the political prisoners and detainees as either as a human shield or they've been kept in prison. In Fashafouye prison, the missile attacked the food supply. So there are many prisons across Iran that they don't have food, they don't have water, and they're left by the regime intentionally to die. There are injured protesters in prison. There are people in prison who need medication, and they intentionally and systematically left by the regime and its IRGC to die. This is what's happening to people in Iran. So please, if you know any anti-war activists, tell them that it's okay to be against the attack and also the regime in Iran. We can be entitled to have any views about the war. It's okay. But we do not have permission. We are not allowed to sacrifice humanity. We're not. That's our red line. So therefore, it is important to keep in mind what's happening in Iran. I'm going to bring it back to, and one more thing. We're holding this event in a university. There are thousands of university students who are shot dead or they are in detentions. Many of them were taken to unknown locations. Just today, I read in the news that the IRGC forced medical university students to go and treat hostiles, the IRGC. Not just they put their life in danger, and can you imagine you are taken to treat your torturer? So this is what's happening and people don't see that. But I'm going to bring it back to women. Well, we women, as you know, we have been around since the beginning of the world, but apparently every time the world forgets. People in the world forgets that this is not the only war. Especially with women, we have been in war with the Islamic regime for 47 years. I've been in war with the Islamic regime since 11 years old. I'm sick and tired of that. I'm exhausted, but I'm not going to give up. But what I wanted to say, when you look at that, always, I'm taking it back to the title of what I was supposed to talk about, the body. What the regime does, they attack women's body. Because you know what, our body is like our home. We need it to be safe. When they attack our home, when there is nothing left, we feel defragmented mentally. We feel we don't have control and we feel powerless. So either we give up or we channel our anger through fighting with whoever intruded our house. So if you think about women's body in that way, around the world, they've been attacking women a lot. Female genital mutilation, breast ironing, whatever you can imagine, changing the woman's shape according to what the patriarchy wants. That's what's happened. In Iran, the first thing they did, they attacked women by covering them with hijab. This is what's supposed to happen. So you don't have a body shape, you're just a bag, because this is what we want to happen. In Kurdistan, Iraq, I remember in the 90s when I was working with activists, few women, actually their nose was cut off. In just recently, as I said, in this demonstration in January, when they arrested women, they took off their womb, they cut off their breasts. These are something that happened. So mutilating women, when you mutilate women, you tell them you don't exist. We don't exist as a whole. So they tend to make us feel powerless and give up. That's what they're doing. But that's not happening, actually. Those young girls that you saw, they've been shot in the eyes, they said that now we want to fight even more. Those people are not activists, actually. But when that happened to them, when the attack happened to them, their mind and their body, they started fighting back. In the Women Life Freedom, they actually shot women in their genital and their breasts. So there is an aim to take away your identity as a woman. That's what they're doing. Yanar Mohammed it's very difficult for me to say was, because I worked with her. Yanar Mohammed was a very famous women's rights activist in Iraq. She was threatened many times. As you see. Let me come this way. She was threatened many times to be killed. She was very outspoken against the Islamists and for women's rights. Unfortunately, on the 2nd of March, that's a few days ago, she was assassinated by Islamists. And this is what it means. They want to mutilate us. They want to get rid of our body. They want to kill us, but they cannot kill that spirit. They cannot, because as the poet said, women are made of fire, and you cannot burn someone who is made of fire. And that's the story of women's rights in Iran and in the region, because I know many of our sisters in Afghanistan doing the same thing. So at the end, what I wanted to leave you with, don't forget people in Iran. I was asked by Shadow to say what to do for political prisoners, but I think now you are in a position in the UK to force the British government, which has been quite useless, not doing anything, to pressure the regime in Iran to release all political prisoners. I think this is the most important thing, because while people can hide, can go to different places, political prisoners left defenseless inside the prison to die. We keep fighting because 47 years, half a century, the regime in Iran could not kill the spirit of people in Iran, and it will never do. And I hope one day I'm standing here and I'm saying that next year, actually, we're going to have an International Women's Day in Iran. So happy International Women's Day.